A cabin in the woods?
What do we got here? This looks like a cool cabin.
Hey! Do you mind closing that? You're letting in the cold air.
Ooh, sorry.
Okay, we're making the Christmas cabin. I did it! I finished it! Yay! Now you're gonna see how I made it. I just started with a basic little house that I got from the craft store, and as usual, we took it all apart and it's in 1,000 pieces now. And I decided the porch that it had on there was way too short and shallow, so I'm gonna cut this part off right here, and I'm going to extend the porch out as far as I can get away with, and to make it look good. I also had to take the chimney off. It was right smack in the center, and if you saw where it was before, it was centered with the door. That's just not going to work. So we're going to move it to the side where it should be. So my favorite tool, the bandsaw, we're going to cut the roof apart and see how we can put this back together and make sense. So we're going to take this little overhang that we cut off and we're going to put it at the bottom, and just like magic, we have an extended porch, which means we're missing a piece of roof, but that's okay because that's what cardboard's for. I say the hardest part of every project is all the planning and just getting the pieces just in the right spots. At the end, you know, you see it all getting put together and all pretty, but this part here, this is where the magic really is. You have to measure it, make sure the angle's right, and then I also cut out some side pieces to hold it up. Just, you know, it's everything that you don't really think about unless you actually know how to build a house. And here I am trying to get my angles right. I did have to adjust that triangle piece just a little bit so it slanted down a smidge and met up with our front porch railings. But it wasn't too bad. Now we got all our parts and pieces. I even made a door. And now we get to do some fun stuff. First up, painting. All this prep work. So what I did is I just took some black and watered it down a lot. I made my own stain. So I watered it down a lot, wiped it down with a paper towel, and it really brought out the grain in the wood. It turned out pretty cool. And then when I clear coat it, it really brought it out. So it was a leap of faith, and I think it worked out just fine. I taped up that flooring that I just painted, and then I just did a base coat on everything. This brown. I use this brown for everything. And it's just a base coat just to seal the paint, because this pine, I think it is, it really soaks the paint. So if I just directly painted onto it, I would be putting thousands of layers of paint on there. This saves us a few steps. And now that I got the base of brown, I am going to layer many shades of brown, because if you look at a log cabin, it's log woods, so you want to get that grain effect. It looks messy at first, but the more you add, the more it looks a little more realistic. Here you can really see that I painted in between each of the logs, kind of a light color, so that it defines it more. And I'm giving a light wash of a brown, a lighter brown than the spray paint. And then I'm going to do another wash of almost a black brown color. It's a lot of layers. And of course the funnest part is just taking the tape off, and then you get to reveal that stained piece of wood there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a clear coat over everything to seal it in. Now you'll notice that I didn't paint two of the walls. These were the only two flat walls, and I had cut out some paper that looks like wood paneling basically, and I cut it to the shape of each size, and I'm just gonna glue it right in there, wallpaper it. We need a chimney. If you hadn't seen my video of how I made the fireplace, go ahead and visit that. It shows the same techniques as putting the rocks on the side, but I'll go into more detail on this one. So we're going to start with a bunch of cardboard, and we're going to build our chimney to the shape that we want. I had to put this little cap piece on here because it is going to overhang a little bit. You remember my idea, I'm going to try to have it so the door opens, so this will show a little bit. And then we get to have some fun with rocks. And you just glue it on just like a little mosaic. When I'm done putting the rocks on, you'll notice I overglued it on purpose for this reason. I'm putting, it's basically like plaster of Paris. It's just casting plaster, and I'm going to sprinkle it all over that wet glue, kind of get it into the cracks, let it dry completely, and then you can pat off all the extra, and I do just a light coat of water over the top to clean it up, and it's done. Now we're going to make the roof, and we're going to put a metal roof on our roof because that is standard, at least around where I live. So in order to make that corrugated metal look, we got the tool right here, just a piece of cardboard. And if you peel off the cover, or one of the layers I suppose it is, right below that is exactly what we want. It's all the ridges, and that will be our roof. And so you just nice therapeutic peeling of paper here until you get the pieces that you need. once I got my pieces here, and they don't have to be 100% perfect because we are going to paint them. And the mini layers that you're going to paint, it's going to stick down all those little fuzzies. So no worries. And we're going to put snow on top of it after that too, so it doesn't matter. I'm going to do a base coat of a really dark gray, and then I'm going to put a lighter gray, just kind of smear it really lightly, a dry brush. And then we're going to layer a couple more colors because our roofs around here are slightly rusty for various reasons. One, rain, and now snow. So it's many different colors. And we got our roof to the colors that we want. You could go crazy on this. You could put more greens. You could make it more rusty. However you want it. I like this one. And plus half of it's going to be covered anyway. And you'll see that I cut a little notch out on my roof because I didn't account for the chimney at first. But now we do. And I also put a screw into the new chimney, because I know if people are going to use this chimney as the handle to open the door. So we want to secure it. And we just make sure it opens and everything fits. And we should be good. And then we'll glue that roof onto our top roof. Basically, I just glued it on. I cut it out to the size that I needed. I took the chimney off. We're going to put the chimney on after the glue dries. And I also put a thin piece of paper down the middle top ridge of the roof just to seal it up. I decided that all of our railings and window panes and little side pieces are going to be a nice hunter green, because this is a Christmas house after all. We're going to go with all the reds and greens and things. So I did a nice spray coat of everything, and I'm going to go for kind of a Scandinavian look. So we're going to put a little toll painting on each and every piece of here. And I think I'm going to go with a candy cane motif. And of course our cabin needs a little red door, so I cut out a piece the shape of the door frame, and I have a piece of kind of a wax paper and a little wreath and teeny tiny little hinges. So let's put this together. So real easy. I just put the parchment paper as our windows, glued it on. So it looks like more of a solid door. I did paint the edges of here. This is going to be the back side of the door, so you'll hardly see it. But just in case you do, it's in the details, right? We'll just paint the edges to fool the eye. And you need a doorknob and a little wreath. I had a whole package of these. I think I got them at 50% off after Christmas sale or something like that last year. So I collect these things, and it's just perfect for our little door. Now we're just going to glue on all our outside accessories. So we need our window panes with our cute little candy cane design. And now we're going to glue on our chimney. And I made a hole in the side of the chimney on purpose so that we could stick our little battery pack that lights up the fireplace and our lamp on the inside. It's all about planning ahead and tucking things away. Perfect fit. And we use our little tiny hinges to attach our door to our cabin. Next, we need a way to hide this battery pack. This is going to be our Christmas lights that go all along the top of our cabin here. So what I thought we would do is make a big wood pile. To make it, you just need our handy cardboard, of course, and we're just going to do a three-sided box. For the wood of the wood pile, I just gathered some sticks, and I did start at first trying to cut it with my knife. That was not going to work, so I took it to the bandsaw and cut it into 1,000 million pieces. I needed some little tiny short ones and regular sized ones. And what we're going to do is just like we did the fireplace, is we're going to line it all up so it looks like a pile of wood. Once we got the front going, now we have to build up the illusion by putting some actual long logs on the side and the top. just like that, you have a wood pile. I wish it was that easy in real life. Gathering our wood takes forever, but it does keep us warm. And we're just going to glue it to the back end of our cabin here so that we can, when we're ready and finished with stringing our lights here, we'll just tuck our little battery pack right inside. Speaking of lights, now it's time to try to string this mess. I do have a plan, I think. Now you're going to see a little bit inside my brain here. I tried to draw out a plan of where my lights, because I have a limited size of how long this light string is, and I want it to go around my cabin and around the Christmas tree. To figure it out, originally I came up with all sorts of crazy plans where it was going around the roof that opens, and it was gonna come out one end, go through another hole, and go through. I think the only plan I kept was going around the Christmas tree.
And please, I have this. So go shoot, shoot, loop, back out, up, over, round, over, up, back down the back, and back to the start.
So I'm going to start doing this, and I'm going to string it through the hole that I made in the back, and this is going to go through the hole, stay with me, around the Christmas tree and back out through the hole. That is how far I got at first. And I didn't measure anything, of course not. So I just gave it a good guess of how much to put around the tree and give me enough to work with to go around the cabin. So I just went around it twice, and this lighting is weird because they're like 4 inches apart each light. So it's a big spacing. So I wanted it at least to go around twice the tree. And then I'm going to tuck the tree in there and pull all the excess out the back. And I ended up putting the lights just around the top, not the lid part, but just the top of the cabin and the porch. And I had just enough to go around just twice. So while I'm thinking about that, I'm going to place all the furniture in here. It's a tight little hole. So I couldn't really film inside there too bad, but you can see there. I put the fireplace in, I have a hole out the side where the chimney is to connect to the power source. And I also put the lamp in there, and that line goes out through the same hole that the chimney hole is. And put in the chair and all my little presents. Another thing you don't see is I have some little pictures that I'm going to hang on the wall as well. I wanted to do that last, just in case I have to manipulate this cabin a lot as I put the lights and things in, and I don't want to knock them off too much. And by the way, if you want to see and you missed it, how I made the fireplace, the chair, and the little lamp and all the little presents, I'll put all those links in the description of the videos that you can watch. Now it looks very cute as it is, but we can't have a good cabin without a porch. So first I'm going to put some garland around there, and I'm going to use my green pipe cleaners to pretend that it's a leafy garland, you know. And we'll glue on some sequins for all the little baubles. If we measured everything correctly, it should all fit together. And then we'll put our little triangle pieces on the side as well. All right, we're getting down to the nitty-gritty. So I just I've used this piece of cardboard that was it came with my parents' new TV, and it just happened to have that foam on the bottom, so I thought that was perfect. Now my first idea was to use this snow. It's for flocking trees and things. I was like, I wonder if that would work. So experiment number 1. We're going to go ahead and spray this and see if it stays. Now, when I first sprayed it, this looked very promising. It looked perfect, like a nice powder coating of snow. Then I let it dry. It didn't dry very nice. It just cracked all over the place. And I also put some of this fake snow over the top just to see if it would stick, and nope, it's gonna fall right off. And Mr. Astronaut even tested it, and it's like the surface of the moon. It's just flaking everywhere. So we scraped that all off, and we're going to start with just sticking the cabin down, and we're going to use a different technique. I wanted to make sure this cabin didn't move once I stuck it on here, because the leftover of that other snow spray, it kind of made a kind of a fine powder on there, and I had difficulty gluing it at first. So I'm just gonna kind of make a thin kind of a caulk line all the way around my little cabin here. Time to dig out this little SnowTech stuff. And by the way, this works great. I just had a little tin of it, and it went a long way. So I'm just gonna, basically you gotta think of where would snow fall. I put it all the way around the edge of my cabin, again just to seal it a little bit, and then put some on the railing, some on the roof, and just snowify everything. need some icicles. There's a few ways you can do this, but I'm going to use the glue gun effect. And it's messy, it's drippy, and if your glue gun's too hot, it might not drip the way you want it. It's going to turn out super messy like this at first. Don't worry, just clip off all those little stringy strands and it looks fine. But there is another way that you could do this. And this way worked a lot better. And this will make some well-defined icicles. I just used a piece of parchment paper, dripped some drips on there with my glue gun, let it dry, and it comes right off and you can glue it onto your project. Now you need some trees, of course, and I got a bunch of them. So I just put them where I thought they looked good and where you could still open and shut the roof door easily. So don't go too crazy. Like I couldn't put any in behind it, but that's okay. That's where our wood chopping happens. Once I got all the trees in, I just sealed them, every single tree, with my Snow-Tex stuff, put it all over, and then I coated everything with white paint to fill in all the gaps that are grayish, and then I threw a little bit of that Snow-Tex, not Snow-Tex, but that fake snow over the top of that. Many layers. It makes it look a little more realistic. And don't forget the trees. And that's it. We're pretty much done. So we're gonna sit back and admire our work. So that was the Christmas house. Oh my God, it's cold out here. Oh, and I'm gonna go out here and finish that snowman over there. Maybe chop some wood because it's cold. I hope you guys have a very, very Merry Christmas. Any holiday that you're celebrating this time of year, stay warm, and probably won't see you till after the new year. I'm gonna hole up in the warm cabin, and I don't know what you guys are doing. Have a great day, and see you next year. Ooh.
All right, let me do it again. Let me go. Take 3.
Go out here, finish that Hi, you're not supposed to be in this. Go up to Dad. No. Go away. Okay. Yeah.